Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an asset, a simple asset. We're going to start with basics, so a simple cube, and how to UV it properly. And hopefully, in future, tutorials, I'm going to show you how to take that same asset and take it throughout the whole pipeline for you to create a game asset. Okay, so for now, let's go ahead and click on this cube icon right here. This is your polycube. As soon as you click on it, you'll notice that a cube appears right at the center of your grid. So what you want to do, the first thing you want to do is hit the W, and that brings up this little widget. What you want to do is clear the history here. So you click here on your channel box, and this gives you pretty much all the you can set width, height, dimension, subdivisions, anything you need. You can modify this depending on what kind of project you're working on. Again, for this particular project, we're not gonna need this, but you always want to be clearing your history. If you don't clear your history, your Maya file is gonna run really slow. It's gonna lag, and you're gonna end up crashing a lot. So you want to select your cube. You want to make sure that you're on object mode. So what you do is select your cube, right click, hold it down, and drag out. Here you have the option to selecting edge, vertices, vertex face, face, multi, even go into the UV. Um, for now, we want to select object mode. Okay, so now our object is selected, and to clear history, the shortcut for that is Alt Shift D. Okay, again, one more time, Alt Shift D, and you notice the history of my object is now gone. Okay, so with that said, um, I want to make sure that my square is actually on this grid. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you hold D, and you leave. As soon as you hold D, you'll see how this changes. With D, with holding down D, you want to hold V, as in volley. You hold it down, and you middle click on this vertex here. Boom. Now you can let go of both of them. There you go. So now this widget is set as setting the origin of this object as this vertex here. Okay. So to drag it up, exactly, you click on the y-axis arrow. See here? It tells you what axis is you are. Green is y, red is x, and blue is z. Okay? So you want to click on y, just click on it, and leave it alone. It turns yellow, which means this is ready to move in to whichever direction you assign it. So right now I assigned the y-axis to move up or down, depending on where I want it. So if you want it snapping to your grid, you're going to hold down X, and see it changes again. You hold down X, and you middle click on your grid. It pumps it right up to your grid. Now we don't want the origin of this asset to be set here, not just yet. Okay, we want it set in the middle. That way, anything we do, any changes we do to this asset, it comes from the middle. Okay, um, that's usually how you work. But for now, you can go ahead and leave it there. Okay, right now we want this, or we want the origin of your cube to be on a vertex. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be any vertex you want, as long as it's one of the bottom ones. It'll be a whole lot easier later on. Okay. So to take it out of that mode, because if you keep moving it, it'll jump back up or down. You hit W, and it returns back to normal. See? Green, blue, and red. Perfect. Okay. And okay, that is pretty much it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to UV this properly. One more thing before I go. You see how it says translate 5 because we moved it up? We want everything here to be zeroed out. Okay, we want everything here to be 0. 0.5, that's what it says. So if you were to move this back to its original state, which is 0, if I put 0 here and hit enter, it jumps back down. See? So Control Z puts it back, does an undo, so it sets it back at where I had it. But we need this to be 0. So what you do, you hover over the translate Y, you right click, and see where it says freeze. You hear translate, and it zeroes it out. So now this is reading at 0, 0, 0 all the way through. Okay? We're going to go ahead and scale this up a bit. So to scale it up, your shortcut is R. R as in rabbit. And this little, your widget transform into your scaling. Okay, so you want to, from the middle, scale outward. And now as you can see, it's not scaling from the middle, but it's scaling from this vertex, from your origin. So you want to give it, you know, that looks good. That's decent enough. Or you can either do it this way, or you can do it here. So let's say we want a cube that's 5 by 5. So we click highlight all of them, select 5, and now you have 5 in all of them. And now you can click out. See? There's your cube 5 by 5. Okay. To reset the widget, I press W, and it's reset. Perfect. You can always move it towards a little bit more towards the center. We're gonna go ahead and move this. Click and drag. Okay, click and drag. There we go. Okay, that's good. Now, you see how you can't see your shading? You want to make sure you're able to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and select here shading. Click on this, and I want to go to where it says wireframe unshaded. That lets you see your wireframe and also what you're looking at. So it gives it it gives it a material, gives it a shade, gives it a color, and it also gives it the wireframe, so you can see your edges, your vertices, and your faces. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there.